And really appreciate also what the second generation are doing, that they're letting go. I think that's very difficult for families, retiring and letting go, passing on the baton, all the knowledge, the expertise, and the skills that you have learned in the family business, and allowing your children to fly. You have honed them, you have prepared them this far, you've given them the proper training. It's about time now to just rest and enjoy the fruits of the labor and fly. Allow your children to just be empowered and make decisions on their own. Maybe they may be making some mistakes on the way, but I think with the guidance of those who are still there, with the second generation, it's okay. We know that they're going to be there to handhold us through it all. Just so that they can envision themselves, am I going to be fitting here with the skills and the gifts that God had given me? Am I a good, suitable employee for this particular company? And that's all.
You mentioned something earlier about passing on the values. Yung parang paano pinapasa ng second generation values to the third generation.
I think more than preaching, what is more important is seeing it being actually lived out. You can say so many words, but if you don't see them living out the values that they're teaching to us, then it's nothing. So what I really want to honor my uncle and my aunt for, is that they walk their talk. So when they talk about being hardworking people, I see that so much in them. They are good role models and examples of these very values that they're teaching to us. Frugality, when we have board meetings, yung purchasing of things, like just because you are blessed by a lot of the profits, does not mean that you're going to squander it all. They make very wise decisions, very balanced. They have business studies first. They do research before they get into things, So, pinag-aaralan lahat yon, and it doesn't necessarily mean that just because they have the means, they will grab every opportunity that there is out there. So, even yung family, we have a lot of reunions. Our family council will be coming together again to plan out soon, within October, how we can even further enhance our relationships. I think in any family business, it's not just business. What is really more important to keep it alive is the relationships. So I think the bottom line, I don't mean to be cheesy, but it's true. Love is the bottom line. I mean, you can run the business but hate each other, diba? And I don't think that's a very healthy environment when you see each other and you can't stand each other, see each other every day. So I've seen that also in my uncle, my dad, and my aunts. They might not agree with everything, right? There are some disagreements that happen. There are conflicts. But in the end, they talk about it. They discuss it. They ask for forgiveness from each other. They forgive. And then life moves on. And I think that's a very important element. I think if not for that, matagal nang wala yung ABIVA. Mahal nila yung isa't isa. Naiyak ako as I say that. Kasi totoo yun. I think I say that because it's so true.
Right. That's really nice. If there's one thing...
Makeup. Naku, Uncle Louie, testimonial na yung binibigay ko.
Maganda yan, merong third generation.
Oo nga.
Hindi, kasi outsider din ako eh. Kasi I'm not in the business, diba? So,
Anyway, you're a board member.
You're part of everything.
and I'm part also of the family council din naman. I'm the council secretary. O sige, ano pa? Hindi, kasi I think that's an important thing to say in a gathering, as a conference like yours. Kasi there are businesses kasi na nagtatrabaho nga sila together, but they hate each other. And when we attend also the seminars and Ateneo, some of the testimonies are like that. And it's very sad. Diba? You're just there because your parents are forcing you to go and work, but like deep inside, there are a lot of conflicts, there's a lot of friction going on. And mahirap to work in a place like that na you don't want to wake up anymore sometimes and go to work because you're gonna see that person again or have to deal and relate with that person again, di ba? But kamag-anak mo yun eh, baka kapatid mo yun or pinsan mo yun or uncle or aunt mo yun. And what's really, I think that's going to make it last really long is if you love each other. And I think that's what my uncle was trying to explain a while ago, that that's why yung sense of family is just so important. We really value it a lot. And when one needs the help of the other, we're really out there to support. Maybe as an example, like say one cousin of ours already lost both parents. Pero if he's in need, talagang all-out support kami. And not financial only but moral support, spiritual support. We pray for him. And that's the kind of family that I really enjoy and I'm really very, very blessed with.
Families, the family dynamics like this does not happen overnight. There must have been some effort. There must have been something that you did. What is it that you're doing to create such a culture in your family?
When my lola was alive, because I never was able to meet my grandfather because he died at the age of 42, we would have Saturday reunions, no fail. As a matter of fact, we know the food. It's fried chicken, sinigang na hipon, mocha ice cream every Saturday. So, okay? And we just enjoy one another's company. She'd bring us out, all the apos, to the park. And we just bonded. So I think, even up to now, I would say the fourth generation, our children, so yung mga anak na ng mga pinsan, are all so close to each other. It's not just Christmas. It's not just New Year. It's we just have regular reunions with each other. So we miss each other when we don't see each other. And my lola also invested in quality time. So when the company was doing well, nilabas niya, in-abroad na yung mga children. Like, what?
40.
Ano yun?
40.
40. There were 40 of us. We went out. We went
trip
on
to the US.
We went on a cruise trip. Ang daming pinuntahan and di ba no?
Every year yun.
Every year. So, syempre, swerte yung panganay, yung pangalawa. Medyo pagdating na nung mga pangatlo or pang-apat na child in each clan, hindi na naabutan yung lola ko. But a few years back, my uncle and my aunts treated us to a trip to Thailand, all the cousins. So it was really enjoyable. Ganun, I think, when the regularity of seeing each other, kasi even if you say you're committed to that relationship, it's nothing unless you also spend time. No? So I think it's that, coming together, catching up with one another's lives, and allowing our children to also mingle and get to know each other. That's very important to us. And through that, the values are being passed on. And as they watch, we watched our lola, we watched our uncle and our aunts. In the same token, the children are also watching how we relate to each other. And they pick that up maybe vicariously, di ba? And I think that's the best way really to teach the values. Of course, you find teaching moments in certain situations. Like when we have Christmas and let's say the son of Uncle Louie had a kidney transplant, that was an opportunity for us to show support. So we prayed over him. Yung ganong klase, no? That kind of support. And then we also pitched in. Sabi namin na instead of in lieu of Christmas gifts, magbigay tayo kay Luigi. Yung ganon. So, he knows na it's not just his parents who are watching over him. It's the whole clan watching over him. Yan.
That's a very, very inspiring. Any message that you'd like to share, coming from a third generation, any message you'd like to share to our attendees who will be going
Teka, I'll just think about that. Dali. I would like to just share as a third generation in our family is that when you're faced with very difficult conflicts in your family, whether that's business related or relational, the bottom line is really the greatest value that's going to really tide you over is family first. If you allow money to get in the way, if you allow other interests or things that are more important, then I think that could be a start of the breakup of the family. And you would have to be faced with that decision if, is this thing really worth it? If it's worth it to break the family or not, then you would have to make that choice if what is more important to you is family. And I think if you want your family business to really move forward and you can leave a legacy all the way up to so many generations, then I think in any vision mission of a company that has to come first, family first. Yeah. I really appreciate the fact that our uncle and our aunt had invested in hiring professionals to be able to professionalize our family business. I'm not involved actually directly in our family business, but I am part of the board of trustees of our family business. And as an outsider who looking in, I really appreciate their efforts to be able to pass on the legacy that our Lolo and Lola had started way back many years ago. We saw how they were able to instill the values that we really treasure a lot, like hard work, being frugal, sense of family, love for God, helping the poor. I got to appreciate them even more as I sat in the board because I saw that it's not really just also business, it's really also helping those who are in na we cannot compromise the values that our Lolo and Lola had taught us for them to be with all the gifts that had been given to them. Then maybe it's all right. You know, they can still be involved in the family business in other ways and means. But the OJT is really more for exposure. We want the children to appreciate what our Lolo and Lola, our forefather and mother, had done for the family. We want to give them that freedom of choice. I know this is difficult for family businesses. Usually, parents force their children to go into the business. But maybe as the third and the fourth generation, there's that need also to respect the different qualities or the different interests of your child. And we will, of course, highly motivate them and encourage them to get into the business. But if they should so decide that this is not going to be where God would want them to be with all the gifts that had been given to them, then maybe it's all right. You know, they can still be involved in the family business in other ways and means.